like using style as a tool of our personal development, our personal growth, as women, as moms, right? Because we evolve. You must start little, have grace, and start small. Don't think that, oh, you're gonna like change overnight, that your style is gonna be glam overnight, right? But
Yeah.
start very small. So if first you used to just stay in pajamas the entire day, now get out of your pajamas, right? Find like
Yeah.
leggings or t-shirt, really small, but you're kind of
Yeah.
like telling your mind or exercising that muscle of like, okay, it's going to be different today. I'm gonna do something small today for my own sanity, for my self-care. Um,
Hi, everyone. I'm Esmeralda, your career coach, mom of two, and founder of New Horizon Moms. I am a chemical engineer who worked at a Fortune 500 company for 15 years. I took my career pause in 2023, and the following year, I founded New Horizon Moms. This organization exists to empower mom professionals to build a career on their terms so they can be successful at every stage of motherhood. This is the start of a new series focused on how women can rediscover themselves after motherhood. Moms, if you've ever stood in your closet thinking, nothing fits me anymore, and I have no idea what to wear, you're not alone. For so many moms, getting dressed becomes one more stressful decision in an already busy day. Your body changes after pregnancy, your schedule gets busier, and the clothes that used to work may not fit the same or reflect the life you're living now. Maybe you've been living in leggings, oversized tops, or the same few pieces on repeat because shopping feels overwhelming and nothing seems to solve the problem. Maybe you're going back to work after maternity leave and suddenly you need new outfits that feel polished yet practical. Or maybe you just want to feel more put together on the school run or on a date night without starting from scratch. And that's what today's conversation is about: how moms can rebuild their style in a way that actually works for real life. You'll also learn from real examples of moms navigating different style challenges so you can see what's possible for you too. Today, I'm excited to introduce Vani Hernandez. Vani is a certified style coach who helps high achieving women stop feeling disconnected from their wardrobe and start dressing like the woman they've become. Through her Vani style method, she guides them from feeling outdated to feeling excited about what they wear. Her work empowers women to show up with purpose and presence. Let's learn a little bit more about Vani's business. Here you can see Vani in action, and let's take a look at a clip of her sharing a talk with a group of moms about style.
That's a great question. So, as moms, when we become moms, everyone comes first. We pour into everyone and tend to leave ourselves in the back burner. And that usually what affects is like our appearance. Like we make sure that nuestros hijos estén bien vestiditos, and then we feel guilty if we are and they're not. And I talk to moms, and that's something that comes up. They feel guilty even when shopping. Like they feel like, oh, I can't invest in like clothing or anything because now I'm a mom and my kids come first and all of those things. So deep within, before we were moms, we are women. There's that thing inside us that we want to feel good, we want to look good, we want to feel beautiful because that's how God created us. That's how God designed us. So before there's still that woman in there, and so I think personal style can be that great tool that can connect you to that woman again. So taking time during the day to get dressed, to actually get dressed, right? Taking a few more minutes of your time, maybe to wake up a little earlier, just like Muslim Mommy said, it's making that self-care. So I think personal style, taking care of our appearance, is also a form of self-care. It doesn't have to be that you have to be like really well dressed every day, but even just wearing your favorite jeans and your favorite sweater or something that's gonna just keep the momentum for you to keep taking care of yourself and wanting to start building that confidence, and reconnecting with the woman that's inside of you.
Welcome, Bunny.
Thank you, Esmeralda, for having me here. It's a pleasure. And thank you for sharing that little clip. It's great when you hear yourself, right? Great message to share out there. So thank you.
Yes,
Really be happy to be here today.
absolutely, Bunny. Well, first, can you tell us what inspired you to become a style coach?
Well, it might sound like, oh yes, as little girls we do that, but really, like I have very fond memories, great memories of going to my aunt's house. She was always well dressed. She always had this like glitter dresses, like gala dresses and shoes. And I remember I used to love playing with that at my aunt's house. So um, and I really just, I can still, right now, as I'm saying it, I can still see myself even in the room where I was in, even the where we were doing that along with my cousins. And then from there, of course, the Barbies, right? I had so much fun dressing up my Barbies. I didn't have I guess the Barbies that I used to play with were my friends' Barbies because they had like her mom was here in the US because I'm actually like originally from Belize. So her mom was here, so she would send her like her sets like Barbies and the Kens and all the sets that came with the Barbies. So I remember just having fun like playing with those, like getting them dressed. So I think that's where it started now looking back. And I've always been like that. Like even if it's just going to the store somewhere, like I'll still take some time. Of course, I won't be like super well dressed or super fancy, right? But I still take time to like put on something that I know if, makes me feel like I look good. Like if someone was to see me out there, like I know I wouldn't look like very,
Yeah.
um, anything bad or anything like that. So that's where it started, I think, and it has always been part of me. Like clothes, like just dressing up. That's so important to me. And as I grew up, I came here to the US and it was like also coming here and going to the malls because we don't have malls in my country. So just coming here, it was like another level going to so many stores and then exploring, and I started working here, then that led me to like life coaching and but I still had this in me. I was like, I know I want to do something related to clothing, something, but I didn't know that personal styling or image consultancy was like something like a career,
Yeah.
and so as I started like being online, building my like life coaching business, I think that's where I started meeting other people that were doing like this things like that, and that's where I learned like this was actually something that you can help other women, like a career, right? And so
Yeah.
that's where I started. Like I was like, okay, I tried combining the purpose, that's I called myself like a purpose life coach with personal styling, kind of like, I don't know, I tried to combine it, but it still felt like separate. So then I got to know this where I took my style coaching certificate, and of course I've taken other ones, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna put it together. I'm not trying to force like, okay, I have to do the life coaching and this, but just more of like a life coach because I still get to coach women, right? Depending, each of them have their different situations. They come with different beliefs about why they can't wear certain things, about their bodies, and a lot of things that come up. And that's where I still get to use the tools that I've learned as a life coach to get them to elevate their style. So I think, yeah, all of this has been my own journey too of finding myself. I think that's why I started with the purpose life coaching because I was like feeling so unfulfilled and lost during that time. And then using this as kind of like aligning, and I think I still keep learning more about me. And I can even see it in my own style. Like before, I used to be like I used to love like florals and very romantic style. And now, like, I was looking at my closet, like this past weeks, I'm like, I don't see anything like floral anymore. Like it has changed because I have changed, I have evolved. And
Yeah.
so I see it as it's like personal development, like using style as a tool of our personal development, our personal growth as women, as moms, right? Because we evolve in different things, especially when we become moms, like things change, things change.
Absolutely. I love what you said about how our style is the way that it reflects our growth. And you're absolutely right that as we become moms, that's a big life change. So I'm
Yes.
excited for you to share with our moms some ways that they can look at their wardrobe and be inspired by it. And so, why do you think it's hard for women to find their style after they become a mom?
Yeah, well, I think it's, the hardest part is because, like I said before, we have changed. Like we became a mom, things have changed physically in our bodies, emotionally. Now it's not just about us. Right now we have someone that depends on us. We don't have all the time of the world that we had before we were a mom. Now we have to take care of them, and then sometimes that just makes us stay, like I said in my little clip, like we put ourselves last, right? We put ourselves last because we have someone that we have to take care of during our day, and it's our baby. And so it's, I guess it's not that we forget completely, but we kind of lose ourselves in that process, in the new change that we went through as being moms, you know? And so I think that's where it's hard because you have other things that take your time, and then you just put that in the back, It's like, I'm home taking care of my baby, probably in maternity leave. And so it's so much easier to find clothes that's like, right there when you wake up, easy, especially if you're breastfeeding. Of course, it has to be something easy, right? To be able to breastfeed the baby. And so coming back, it takes a lot of time of our effort to do that. And we have to just, give grace to ourselves because we gave birth to someone, right? And it's okay to maybe be in that for a while, and depending how much time, depending your situation, right? Sometimes it's like maybe you have some help, maybe you don't, maybe it's just you and your husband, maybe it's just you, right? Like if you're a single mom, we don't know. Each situation is so different. And so give yourself grace because your body just went through a big change, right? And we have to respect that because you want to be healthy as a mom, right? And so I think coming back, that's what makes it hard. It's like trying to come out from that, that change that just happened.
Yeah. Yeah, you said something really powerful, which is that we as women, when we make that big change to be a mom, that it's the grace that is what helps us make that big transition, especially in the early months
Mhm.
where, like you said, our attention is completely on someone else and we kind of put ourselves back. But you're right that it is possible to get out of that phase of, not only, focusing on what we're going to,
Mhm.
take care of our kid, but also realizing, yeah, at some point we're going to have the chance, we're going to have time again to think about. So, what do I want to dress like now? What is my. So, how can a mom rebuild her style when her body, her lifestyle, and priorities have all changed? Where can she start?
Yes, I think the first thing is, start little, have grace and start small. Don't think that, oh, you're gonna like change overnight, that your style's gonna be glam overnight, right? But
Yeah.
start very small. So if first you used to just stay in pajamas the entire day, now get out of your pajamas, right? Find like a
Yeah.
leggings or t-shirt, really small, but you're kind of
Yeah.
like telling your mind or exercising that muscle of like, okay, it's going to be different today. I'm gonna do something small today for my own sanity, for my self-care.
Mhm.
Um, and that will eventually lead to, of course, your personal style. So if before, again, like you didn't, maybe take a bath or comb your hair, little things
Yeah.
that are you're showing yourself that you can do it and you're able to. So yeah, things like that, very, very small. And of course, if it's focused on personal style, I would advise you can create like a small, like a mood board, like a style mood board.
Yeah.
Go on Instagram or Pinterest. So as you're scrolling on Instagram or Facebook, I would say more like Instagram and Pinterest. Just anything that catches your attention and that you love, just kind of make like a little vision board to like inspire you, and maybe use that as inspiration for, I don't know, when you have to take the baby to the doctor, like those little outings. Like maybe right now you're not going so many places, but even those little outings, just get inspired, wake up a little earlier, take a bath, take time to put on some makeup or a lipstick or something, and get dressed, like, yeah.
Yeah,
So small things.
that's right. It really is the small things. And once you start building that habit every day, I'm sure you've seen that too with your coaching, that your clients will say, yeah, those small steps add up and they make a big difference. So you
Yes,
kind of start
yes.
stacking those things and
And do what
almost
works
like
for you. Don't compare yourself, especially with social media, right? Like
Mhm.
you'll see these moms who look glam and maybe they just had a baby. Like you don't know, like maybe they have someone who like does everything, helps them with their things at home, Like that's why I
Yeah.
said situations are different.
Mhm.
Um, it can be different for so just do it at your own pace. Don't compare yourself to any of the other moms that you see out there. Do what
Yes.
works for you.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So with that, can you recommend some go-to outfits that a mom can put together and she can still feel great?
Yes, so I have like two of them. I think that will work really good, especially if you're just starting to, rediscover your style when you feel like you've lost it, or even if just you want to start making those little changes and you're like, maybe I need to, want to invest in something like what can I start with? So I call the first one, just start with like I would say two outfit formulas. Basically, an outfit formula is something that um kind of like a, let's say, mom uniform, but kind of like something that you'll go to every time that you need to maybe go out, make your life a little easier. I think that works really great for mom. So the first one would be like monochrome loungewear set.
Yeah.
So that would be like it can be like matching tops and bottoms, like especially I would love for that to be great quality, like it doesn't have to be like not leggings. I'm thinking more of like a little wide leg, the pants with
Yeah.
the top, and that way you're able to use it together, and then you're also able to use it as separate pieces, so you can get more outfits out of that. And then in just like a cohesive color, like a one color. That's why it's called monochromatic. It's just one color, makes you look very put together, polished, and then if you're going out, let's say if it's cold or something, like you can just throw a jacket or something, and your favorite sneakers or loafers. Like it just makes it look very stylish, and it's relaxed, it's soft on your body. It doesn't take a lot of effort. So I think having a few of those in your closet would be great, especially for when you are at home. Some of them come with like little buttons, which of course you can, open up if you're like breastfeeding, or they're a little more relaxed, loose, so it's easier to like lift up
Yeah.
if needed, right? So that would be one of them. And then the other one would be like some kind of like stretch denim with like a chic basic tee. So instead of having like a very sturdy pair of jeans, go with like softer ones. They even have like ones that look kind of like trousers, and but they're kind of like the soft jeans. So something like that, just a super basic, good quality tee. Could be a white tee or your favorite color, and then just pair it with like soft jeans, like dark jeans, or if you like distressed jeans, it's up to you. And then again, just use like loafers, flats, sneakers, add some accessories. That really does, a difference when sometimes it's just not buying new clothes. It's just, changing up the accessories that you use or adding accessories.
Yeah.
And then if you have to go out, well, of course, just wear the bag has to be something that works with everything you have to carry for your baby. So, but let's say like you're not going with your baby, maybe just use like a crossbody or something, something where you can have like your hands free, um, where you can, be able to do more. But definitely having kind of those little things when you're just starting, I would say like having those outfit formulas or go-to outfits.
Awesome. I love all those tips. I've noted some down for myself as you were talking.
Yeah, and
Um,
there's some more, but I think just starting with those because I don't want you to feel like overwhelmed, like, oh, she said all of this, where do I get this, It's
yeah.
like we're talking about starting small, right?
Uh-huh. So now we're going to take a look at two moms. Our first mom is Sophia. She has two children under 5. She's headed back to work soon after her maternity leave, and she's not sure what clothing is going to be the most flattering in the office and outside of work. Sophia's style struggles are that she has a petite hair frame, so usually clothes swallow her, and she wants to find clothing that will flatter her postpartum shape. And also, she wants to be able to transition her work outfits easily into something she can wear to an after school event for one of her kids or a date night with her spouse. So, Viney, what would you recommend for Sophia?
Okay. Thank you for that. I love that. So as we can see, Sophia is returning to work, after her maternity leave and navigating both a new season, right? Because after a certain amount of time now she has to go back to work and also a changing body, right? Because we have those changes. Everyone has different bodies. So a couple of things I would recommend that she focuses on creating balance and versatility. Since she's petite and you mentioned that she's a pear shape, that means she's fuller on the bottom. So I encourage her to look for pieces that bring a little more visual, like interest to her upper body, but that's still comfortable, especially if she's breastfeeding or not, it depends. But something where it can give her little more volume to kind of balance that pear shape, that part on the bottom. So that would be like she can use like elongating lines. She can use tops that have like a little volume, like some puff sleeves. She can, depending on what her style is, I'm just trying to, imagine, let's say just for a more classic style. Don't put like so much, you can put like maybe some ruffles, but again, that would depend on what your style is. But more of like visual interest, I would say. V-necks, because it elongates, a V-neck is something that will work for all body types, because it gives us like, see, you can see a different, we're both wearing that, right? Like it gives more visual, like elongates you. And so structured layers and of course well-fitting trousers like really can help her. So I also encourage her to think in terms of again outfit formulas. I love like outfit formulas rather than individual pieces, especially for moms right now. So for example, a blouse, a trouser, and a blazer combination can easily be transitioned from like the office to an after school event and then for date night. She can make like a accessory changes or even the shoe or even the bag. So let's say she would maybe take off the blazer and just leave the top and the trousers. If depending on her workplace, if she has to wear or if she wears heels, right? Then she can change to maybe some flats. Or if she is going to date night and she's wearing like loafers for work, then maybe she can change it for a little more like heel open sandals. So things like that, like where she doesn't have to take off like everything, like completely change her outfit, but just maybe do the changes through accessories, which also includes, either like shoes and bag. So little things like that, try to find, and I always say whenever you buy something, and this goes for everyone, whether you're a mom or not, always ask yourself, how can I use this piece in at least 3 ways that works for my lifestyle? Because then that's a good investment. Like instead of just buying one piece that you can only use it for one time and then that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So that's very helpful for when you're think of, your lifestyle, like what are the events or occasions or activities that you have to attend, and then make sure it works for that. So yeah, so the goal isn't to have like separate wardrobes for every part of her life, but to have pieces that work together and support her lifestyle.
Jackie is a new mom. She is 1 year postpartum and she wants to find her style again, especially because she's been wearing only sweatpants, leggings, sweatshirts, and t shirts. So, Jackie's style struggles are that she's looking for clothing that will fit her apple frame. She's 5'6". She wants to find new clothes, but struggles to find the time to go to the actual store. So she prefers online shopping. And her goal is to create some staple casual looks that she can dress up when she goes on a date or to a girls' night. We recommend for Jackie.
So as we can see, Jackie is 1 year postpartum, right? And like many other moms, has gotten comfortable with just reaching for leggings or sweatshirt and whatever feels easiest for her, and that's understandable. So one of the first things I would encourage her is to stop to trying to completely reinvent her style overnight, right? Like we have said, like have grace with yourself, start small, um, and start making those little changes. So instead of that, just look for simple upgrades to what she's already comfortable wearing. So, for example, swapping like an oversized sweatshirt for a relaxed knit, right? Or adding a third layer, like a denim jacket, or utility jacket, or choosing a great pair of straight leg jeans, and that can instantly elevate her outfit and still feel practical, so and then if she prefers to shop online, which I understand, so I love shopping online too. I love shopping online. Yeah, yesterday I went with my mom to the stores. I'm like, I didn't buy anything. I'm like, I don't know, I never not find great things in the stores. I'm like, I love shopping online now, especially what I do, because now I've learned more brands and all of that. So yeah, I also encourage her to become very intentional with what she purchases, and rather than again buying just random pieces that don't work together, and just look at the, if it's online, look at the, what's it called? The my gosh, the table, the size guide table that they have. Try to follow that, because then she can get like she can then know which are the brands that do fit her versus not, and each brand is different. So have like your measuring tape, do the measurements that they recommend there, and just kind of follow that. That way you can learn if it was accurate or not, because some brands are accurate with what they have there, others are not. So it depends on the brand. So try to do that. Also read the reviews, because that can also help you see like if they run big or they run small, or true to size. So that can be very helpful. And if of course she orders and she loves how it fits and everything, then try to stick to a few that she knows already that's going to fit. Okay, and then for her, the goal isn't like dressing up every day. I would just like encourage her to create like an more like casual looks that make her feel like herself again, and can easily transition like into date nights or girls' nights with a few simple changes. Again, the changes can be the jewelry, the shoes, the bag, the lip, the makeup, the hair, all of those little things. So trying to find items with her apple shape too that make her feel comfortable. That can also be like blouses that are a little like draped, blouses that have like one of the things like highlight her waist. So things like that, where she feels comfortable in her own body and she starts making those little changes.
Yes, that was amazing. Thank you for helping us see examples of how to elevate the style for both of these moms. And now, as we wrap up, Vani, if a mom is interested in learning more about your services and would like to get in touch, can you share with our audience what your style coaching services look like and how a mom can get in touch with you?
Yes, thank you for giving me the opportunity to do that. So I offer personalized style coaching packages, and they, depending on what they have, what they need, sometimes they just need clarity and guidance. Sometimes they want a little more. They want me to look at what they have in their closets, and sometimes they want everything, like the whole transformation. Some of them might be virtual. Some of them might live here in Chicago. So it all depends on what they're looking for exactly. So the best thing that I do is just have like a call with them. That way I can ask them a few questions, listen to what their needs are, and then based on that, then I can recommend them the best package that works, in where they are right now in their life. And so the best way to get in touch with me is follow me on Instagram at Style by Vanny. And then yeah, I also want to invite them to join my newsletter, which I call the Stylish Update. It's a style note that I send every 2 weeks, and I send like shopping guides, recommendations, some things that sometimes I'm doing behind the scenes. So I might be sending a little piece of this, and things like that, where I just, I don't share it out there. I just share with the ones that are part of my community in my newsletter. So those would be like the best ways to, get in touch with me and stay in touch with me.
Wonderful. And for our audience, you can find that link to Vanny's newsletter in the description of this video. So much, Vanny, for being with us today, sharing all these great style tips. And I hope that these have helped a mom out there who's also wanting to elevate her style and get out of those sweatpants or even those pajamas. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Imelda.
Here's how you can get in touch with Vanny: through Instagram at Style by Vanny, or you can send her an email at hello@vannyhernandez.com. Here's how you can keep in touch with New Horizon Moms: through Instagram at esmeralda.lunaramos, through LinkedIn at New Horizon Moms, or you can send us an email at newhorizonmoms@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to the New Horizon Moms channel for more content created to encourage and support you along your working mom journey. See you soon.